What's going on, guys? It is the Coaster Battleman here, bringing you another coaster content, and this is a pretty cool one. The top 8 roller coasters named Goliath, and there are actually 7 coasters named Goliath, but one of these rides is still operating under a different name. 2 of these Goliaths are at Magic Mountain, but one of them has been changed its name to Magic Flyer, and it was once called Goliath Jr., so that's why I'm counting it on this list. So yeah, moving on, and on Wikipedia it also categorized that Magic Flyer was a coaster named Goliath, so yeah. Moving on to Magic Flyer currently. It was a coaster themed to Thomas, or the TV show Thomas and His Friends, and something like that. But at one point, it was named Goliath Jr. due to the emergence of the hypercoaster Goliath, but this coaster kind of looks to be just a kiddie coaster because people over 54 inches cannot ride it. So yeah, moving on to the Goliath Invert. And I know this is a Batman the Ride clone, but I believe this is the Six Flags New Orleans Batman the Ride. And Batman the Ride at Six Flags New Orleans is, I believe, the only coaster at Six Flags New Orleans that's still operating. It's now operating as Goliath at Six Flags Fiesta, Texas, and people have said this Goliath isn't as good as the other ones. So yeah, I still think this is a nice ride, compact, intense, good inversions, except not as good as other Batman the Ride clones. Number 6 is the Goliath Giant Inverted Boomerang, and this is when it was Deja Vu at Six Flags Magic Mountain. And I admit that Deja Vu and Magic Mountain was the better ride than the current Goliath at New England, because they're the same exact thing, because Goliath at Magic Mountain was relocated to New England, but formerly as Deja Vu. But moving on, Goliath, the Giant Inverted Boomerang, got premier rides, trains, and restraints, and the ride just got ruined due to those restraints, and it hasn't been the same ever since it was at Magic Mountain. So yeah, Six Flags made a huge mistake in putting new trains on this ride. They should have just kept the old Vekoma trains. Now we're getting into the top 5. Number 5 is Goliath the Giovanola Hyper. And this is a coaster that's known for being a disappointment, because this coaster should be this intense, massive hyper coaster known for its insane turns, but people have said that this isn't that intense of a coaster. It does have a nice spaghetti bowl section after the mid-course brake run, which the mid-course brake run is terrible. That first drop looks good, but there's no air time at all, so yeah, Goliath is in 5th place because of that. And it's not nearly as good as these other Goliaths. Number 4 is Over Georgia's Goliath, and this is one good ride. It has a huge helix section, some airtime hills, and overall very fun coaster. In my opinion, it's not as good as these 3 up ahead, but we're starting to get into the very, very good Goliaths. So yeah, Goliath at Over Georgia, not a bad attraction at all, and it's definitely their best coaster. Number 3 is Goliath at Great America, the RMC Woodie. This coaster has amazing quality elements, but ride time is basically awful. Only 50 seconds of ride time, or 45 seconds of ride time from the drop to the brakes, which is not good. The first drop is awesome. You go through a tunnel, especially if you're in the back row. There are some bank turns. The 2 inversions, though, are awesome back to back. That dive loop and that zero-G stall. Those are 2 amazing inversions. As well as that airtime hill before in the inversions. That's a very good quality airtime hill. Goliath just has great qualities to it, except the ride is too short. Number 2 is Goliath at La Ronde, and everyone forgets about La Ronde. This is the most underrated park because of this ride. Like, Goliath La Ronde looks amazing, in my opinion. And this coaster is underrated in my opinion because look at all of that airtime. Those airtime hills look to give some very good quality floater airtime. There's some very fun turns spread throughout the ride, mainly at the end of the ride. But the airtime hills are mainly after that first drop. There are quite a few of them, and then after the helix that takes you back the other way as you turn right past the lake and come back through three more airtime hills. So yeah, Goliath La Ronde, very fun coaster. Even though it's not an actual hyper coaster in it because it's under the 200-foot range, it's still a very good coaster in Canada and one of the best coasters in Canada. And one of the best coasters named Goliath. But number one, you have to give it to Walibi Holland's Goliath. This coaster is awesome. That first airtime hill after that first drop looks insanely fun. It looks like a very massive ejector or floater airtime hill. There's a crazy bank turn after that first airtime hill as you turn into it. Then you go through several helix sections as well as some very fun turns. And there's some good quality ejector airtime hills at the end of the ride. This is just an all-around awesome roller coaster in my opinion. Some people say this is one of the best coasters in the world, and it does, in my opinion. It looks very good, very fun, one of Intamin's greatest creations, and definitely the best coaster named Goliath, based on this video. Thank you for watching, hope you enjoyed. Stay tuned for more videos, and I'll catch you guys later.